It's getting a little sensual with the mic. So, before the start of our Rage Quit episode, I would like to tell a little bit about Rage Quit's sponsor. So, welcome to another episode of Rage Quit, the husband and wife duo that discusses video games every week. Rage Quit is sponsored by AFK Clothing Co. Are you a gamer? Do you enjoy games? Then check out AFK Clothing Co. for all of your gaming apparel needs. As I record this, I am sporting an AFK green sleeve baseball tee that I absolutely love and wear every week. We'd never be sponsored by something we didn't like. And if you'd like to support the show, head on over to AFK Clothing Co., link in the description below, and type ASI in the promo code box to get 10% off your next order. As always, just follow the bear, and now on to the show.
There I am.
I like how it legs. Sound file.
Uh-oh, sound toddlers.
Yep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Rage Quit, episode 26.
I know, I can't believe we made it to episode 26.
I know, bro. It's 26 in ya.
Amping up to 30.
Oh, God, I know. That's insane.
Yeah, because that means 26 weeks worth of content.
That's a lot of content when you put it that way.
Yeah, half a year. And technically 27 because we have a special half episode about Twin Breakers.
True,
so it's 24 and a half.
What? All right.
I had no other way to moniker that. I couldn't figure out. I was like, 24 and a half. There we go.
There we go. Bring.
Yeah.
Bring.
I wasn't planning on doing this, so this is happening.
This is this now.
Exactly.
It's like your One Days Gone episodes. They had to split up 14 and 14.5 because it wouldn't fucking render.
Yeah, and we can dive into that a little bit too, because that definitely kind of pertains. But last year on twitch.tv/ASInquisitor, I streamed a complete playthrough of Days Gone by Sony Benz.
On survival mode.
On survival mode, yeah. Now there's a survival mode 2, which I'm slowly doing on my own.
Yeah.
It's got some siphon filter extras too, which is really cool. I streamed through the entire thing. I think I usually stream for about 4 hours, and it was like 17 parts.
Yeah.
So in survival mode, you can't fast travel. So,
no.
So that's why. Anybody doing the quick math knows that's ridiculously long for that game. That's why.
Yep.
And anyways, I've been slowly bringing them over to YouTube.
Yeah.
People seem to really like them. People seem to really like the streams that I did. But yeah, like Ariel said, just because internet speeds and YouTube and anything that is internet-based is slowing down their speeds because people are downloading more things or using them to communicate or do virtual businesses and stuff like that. I can't render out. I can render, but I can't upload these 3-4 hour long Days Gone videos to YouTube. So yeah, now I have to split them in half. But in the beginning of it, because it was originally a stream, I'll say, episode 14 or whatever. So now I have to do episode 14 and then episode 14 and a half. And then episode 15 and so on and so forth. So that playlist is going to be a little wonky, but at least all the Days Gone content will be there.
True, so. Yeah, it will be there. It's just way more split up than you thought it was going to be.
Yeah, so it's going to take me a few weeks longer to get all that content out because I have some other stuff I want to work on to get out, but I also don't want to flood the market, with extra videos every week or something like that.
No, and then it's
upload pretty much 5 days a week. So.
Yeah, and then it's taking forever, so you can't really do anything else on your laptop because we only have the one for right now. I mean, in the future, it does pertain for us getting another computer, but...
Yeah, we're going to have one pretty much designated to rendering and video editing
and stuff. And this one will be for podcast and writing and so on and so forth, but it's just irritating. In anybody's perspective, anybody who is doing content or anything along those lines. So
yeah, unless you're a larger YouTube content creator or even a streamer that has fiber optics or the ability to even get fiber optic internet to your home. We have a single fiber optic backbone that's way far northwest of us.
Yeah, that won't even come here. So
no, it's not even close. So
which sucks. To begin though, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Ariel Schultz. As always. I like how it's the same exact fucking time.
It was too, yeah. It was super funny. My name's Anthony Schultz. You We just got done recording a spoiler cast for Animal Crossing New Horizons on our sister podcast, 64 Bits of Rage.
Sister.
And as we were introducing ourselves, I was taking a drag from a cigarette.
Again.
Before I could say my name, obviously, and the exact same thing happened.
Yeah, like how I somehow simultaneously timed that for both podcasts. But...
Super funny.
What are we talking about, Cancer?
Doom Eternal spoiler cast!
Doom! Or in all these angelic voice, Doom. It's so cute, but so wrong.
I know, it doesn't fit the tone at all, but he's saying Doom because of that.
Doom. Doom. He wants you to play Doom, which I don't know if that's a good thing for a 2-year-old to want to see his dad kill demons. But
oh, yeah, very graphic.
Well, yeah, but it's graphic and gory, but not in, like, guts or and everywhere and stuff like that, which we've talked about before, and how we don't like that. But at the same time, it is Doom. Like,
it's not over... I mean, it's over the top, but as far as, like, relative to 2020, it's really not.
Well, excuse me. And Sam Breath is going to teach him not to... be scared of stuff like that, or the difference between realism and fantasy.
Yeah, and it is very like stylish and fantasy or science fiction. I mean, very very fictional. It's not realistic. You're not a terrorist mowing down people or something.
Yeah, no, you're
something along those
killing
lines.
Demons.
Yeah, very colorful.
You obviously have one that was on a fucking, what was it, a tank the other day. You're killing a boss, which was a one on a dude with horns on a tank. So
yeah, exactly.
And the spider brain creatures and stuff. And
yeah, they're very very kind of fanciful, like definitely dark fantasy, but still very fanciful.
Yeah, nothing to do with the child, but it's just funny because like we've talked about this other one too, is where I'll play Animal Crossing and every time you do something, it goes woohoo, and then he
mimics that.
He goes woohoo.
Yeah.
And then yesterday we were playing games and he's like, Doom.
And I wasn't playing Doom. He wanted me to play Doom because Mom was playing Animal Crossing.
And we played Doom and Animal Crossing together.
They released the same day, so that's what we've been playing just separately. And I was playing Ghost Recon, and so he wanted me to switch, and so I did anyways. I was pretty much done with Ghost Recon.
You're getting to the point where you needed to stop.
Yeah, I had played quite a bit, so it kind of worked out.
Yep, and then you were playing Doom, and you finally got past that one part, which is funny. But that's our Toddler for you folks, and it's just so you didn't need to know, or you wanted to know, our Toddler is a Doom enthusiast and Animal Crossing enthusiast, so...
Doom enthusiast!
Oh, toddlers. They're hilarious. Alright, so, kind sir, how's Doom Eternal been treating you?
We're actually going to rewind the clock a little bit and structure it similarly to how you... did it with Animal Crossing. I guess I won't take your good idea then. Never mind.
So how far are you going to rewind it, though? Doom's got quite a history comparatively to Animal Crossing.
Yeah, still about the same amount of entries, though, when you think about it.
Really?
Which is kind of a lot older, like you said, like at least by 10 years.
Yeah.
But, I mean, really, if we're going to talk about...
the kind of the big ones.
Main ones, yeah, I mean, you get like a Doom 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, Doom 64, 3... and then Doom 2016.
Yeah, then
Doom Eternal.
Okay, so which ones do you want to talk about?
We'll lump all the older ones kind of together. So
kind of similar to what I did.
Doom 1, 2, and I played a little bit of Doom 64, which I hadn't played before. Yeah, one of my favorite kind of like shooters, and one of the first that I ever played. So I'm at the age where I played when I was little. Wolfenstein, Doom, and Quake.
Yeah.
Like those were the big shooters before I got into like Medal of Honor and Siphon Filter and some of these other ones that were either a different perspective or a little bit more refined in certain ways.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I honestly think that those games still hold up. Like playing through them, it's great because it's Doom guy. It's very boxy and kind of rudimentary, but it's still really quick paced.
Yeah.
It has all the kind of classic elements of an old PC shooter that you would think of. Yep. Power-ups and pickups.
Yeah.
One of the things that I always really enjoyed about those games is as Doom guy, or even if you're playing like Wolfenstein, like BJ Blazkowicz, like as you take more damage, your little character icon becomes more bloodied and messed up.
Yeah.
And he kind of gets like a menacing like grin, as things get more difficult and he takes more damage. I always thought that was really cool. The original Dooms definitely introduced a lot of the creatures that are in the new ones. They obviously have new kind of updated either character models or
Looks,
extra demons that they included. But in those ones, I mean, you get the Revenant, you get Pinky, like you get, and they all have kind of unique, funny names that were actually given to them by fans at the time because they didn't have names.
Yeah.
And so as the community grew around it, and as seminal as Doom was,
Pinky in the movie too, and he turns into a demon.
Yeah, exactly, and then. They have, Pinkies in Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, which is really cool. Essentially, those games just kind of laid the foundation or the groundwork, though, for all first-person shooters.
Yeah, they did.
They really did, especially Doom and Wolfenstein. Like, those two in particular really just kind of cemented what a first-person shooter was. And I think it would be erroneous to, like, not, like... put them in that kind of pantheon and like showcase that they created. Like, I mean, you probably would have had things like Call of Duty and Halo and things like that, but who knows how many years later it would have been.
Even what the design would have been.
Exactly. Maybe even some of the design aesthetics and level designs or mechanics would have been vastly different because they would have been more rudimentary when those games came out if Doom and Wolfenstein had not existed.
And that's just crazy to think because, back then, obviously, they're abreast of, like, the RPG, or not RPGs, but the shooters and stuff, and the quick pace and stuff, and how they're the catalyst for the design of them.
Yeah, it's really fascinating. Like, if you guys have a chance, like, dive into NoClip on YouTube. They do a lot of, like, interesting video game documentaries that are pretty holistic and, like, objective. They're not politicized or, like, this is a bad studio, or this is a good studio, or this was a bad game, or this was a good game. They talk about the development of a particular title or a franchise of them. They talk about the history of the studio, and they have a great piece on Doom.
Which is cool.
So if you're not familiar with it, either maybe you missed the boat when they came out, or that you've just played newer ones or heard of newer ones, or maybe just because of age, you were born after the fact.
Yeah.
Go check that out. It's a good like hour's worth of your time, really.
It's really, really cool to see it.
Yeah, it'll shed a lot of light on the kind of the inception of first-person shooters.
So those are the originals. What about the latter?
Yeah, and also to know, just kind of put a pin in it, you can get the originals. Bethesda's done a great job releasing them on current platforms.
Yeah, so you can play them, like, obviously not on
you can play
PC
them on
versions, but...
Switch, and you can play them on the PS4.
Which is legit.
And I'm sure you can play them on Xbox One. Don't quote me on that because I haven't specifically looked it up, and nor do I have an Xbox One.
No. Yeah,
but I believe they're all cross-platform. You can play them on those consoles. And they're like $5.
Yeah. So they're not like over the top expensive, but you can still experience the originals, which is cool.
Yeah, and even if you just pluck kind of one of those, say you're on the Switch, play Doom 64 is what I would recommend, and then if you're on maybe any of the other kind of current console generations, start with one or two. Like either or doesn't really matter so much.
You don't necessarily have to play through the whole thing.
No, just get a feel for it. It's a good $5, even if you just play like a half hour,
20 minutes of it. You're still getting into the experience.
You get the vibe of it, even if you find it too archaic.
Fondle the balls before you go.
Exactly.
You can dive deep into it.
Yeah, you don't have to go balls deep, but you can fondle them before you go balls deep. And with like Doom 2016 or Doom Eternal.
Yeah,
exactly.
You gotta fiddle with them a little bit.
Yeah, just have fun with it. Know the history. Know where it comes from.
See the sack and all the fun parts. But with that being said, with Doom, you get on the Switch. You said you get 64, which is like the one I kind of played.
Yeah, and which we've talked about this on 64 Bits of Rage. I didn't have a lot of Nintendo consoles growing up.
No.
I experienced the really early ones like the NES and the Super Nintendo.
But
I missed out on like the 64, the GameCube.
You had a Wii, but as you're older.
I did. Well, because the Wii came out when I was older.
Yeah.
And so I had a Wii as an adult. We have a Switch now. And so those kind of legacy Nintendo consoles right in the middle I missed out on. And so, and a lot of great titles and stuff, which, if you don't follow and you're interested, check out 64 Bits of Rage, our sister podcast. It's all things kind of Nintendo. But, yeah, I missed out on Doom 64, and it plays remarkably similar to Doom 1 and 2. And so I played a little bit of it. It came with the Doom Eternal pre-order, which is really cool. And I was able to play it, and was like, oh yeah, this is awesome. It feels so good. So yeah, definitely check that out if you have a Nintendo Switch. Play some Doom 64.
Yeah, like I said, just 10-15 minutes, but you don't gotta play the whole game.
Yeah, they're cheap. If you got $5 to spend.
What's the one that sucks is Doom 3?
Yeah, and so yeah, we'll get on to that.
Oh god, that bastard. Fucking god, that game. Oh lord. If I could say I hate a game, I fucking hate that game.
It was bad.
That game.
It was really bad.
Not the fact that it's not even Doom Guy. I don't know what the fuck that guy is. It's not even Doom Guy.
It's just Space Marine. I think he does have a name, I think.
Who cares? He's not Doom Guy.
But it's not Doom Guy.
A, you fucked up, not Doom Guy. B, what the fuck is this shit? It's stupid. It doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, so in my love of Doom, just like in general, especially because of Doom 2016, and now that we stream, that's a part of our company. Our company's kind of like business. Yeah, we streamed Doom 3 last year after Days Gone, actually, which we talked about kind of at the top of the hour. But I had never played it before. I had heard of it. I knew of it, kind of a thing. I just had never... We were kind of in that in-between phase where, like, Wolfenstein had kind of died off, Quake had died off, Doom had died off, and there's other first-person shooters that kind of had been running with the ball that were doing it better, you know. You had your Battlefield games, you had Call of Duty, you had Medal of Honor even a little bit earlier, you had... even some one-offs on, like, the PS2, like Black and, you know, stuff like that. There was a little bit of something, you know, those franchises kind of gave birth to first-person shooters, but then in, like, the next couple generations, a lot of other, like, companies and IPs kind of sprung up that, because now they were kind of valid now. They were more valid in the gameplay space, and the technology allowed you to play a first-person shooter adequately, and then the ground rules had been set by these earlier franchises. They kind of shoved the old ones out of the way.
Yeah, unfortunately they did.
So we got really weird versions of Wolfenstein and Doom. And Doom 3 is in there.
Fucking Doom 3.
So we streamed Doom 3 in its entirety, actually. We finished
Two crickets fucking.
That was one of my favorite streaming episodes, so...
That's the only funny part in there.
That joke ran for ages, too, after that. It's like, even if we played other games.
Well, it's like two crickets fucking.
Yeah, because there's these little robots in Doom 3 that they'll help you attack, like, enemies and stuff.
Not
sometimes.
All the time, though.
They're kind of baked in the narrative. You can't, like, as a user, like, go get one or activate one.
Which is stupid. I feel like you should be that should be part of the playability. Go get two crickets
They were helpful.
And then they can be your backup.
Yeah, and it was scripted. So in certain parts of the story, in certain areas, they would activate and help you. And so when they like unfurl, it's just like a little robot, like on like a spider.
Essential, yeah.
But they kind of curl up and like compact, and they're like resting or like charging, like throughout the map, and you see them, and it looks like two crickets fucking. It looks like a cricket on top of another cricket, like mounting it. And so that was the joke during the stream, that it was two crickets fucking. And then it unfurled and became like this spider robot. You're like, oh shit! It actually does stuff.
It's not two crickets fucking.
That was really, honestly, probably the best part of that game.
That was it.
Was two crickets fucking and the robot
rest of the
you.
fucking game was just hard to be hard.
Yeah, it was glitchy, even the port that I played, because I played it on...
Dude, you fell off a thing where there should have been a bar there.
That's what I was going to bring up.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, this was, like, towards the end of the game, but there's this catwalk over this, like, almost arena area that you had fought in earlier. And on the catwalk, like, further down from you, a creature, like, spawns. And so I was backing up, and I kept dropping to my death.
You're like, well, why?
Over
there's
and
a,
over
there's
and
a fucking
over.
railing here.
And the first time I did it, I was like, oh, maybe I accidentally popped up a little bit and I was on the railing and I went over.
Yeah.
So then
you tried to do that in another part and it didn't do it.
Yeah, and then I went back and it happened again. And I was like, wait, what? And then the third time I defeated the creature, and then I went back to that area while I wasn't being attacked by anything. Well, the geometry, as far as like from a visual perspective, was there. There was a railing there on the catwalk, and like 90% of the catwalk, you can't go through that railing because it exists.
Because it's there.
But in the first 10% in the corner where I kept falling off, the geometry of the railing was there, but it wasn't like
coded,
corporeal. Like, so you just went right through it and then dropped to your death every single time.
Yeah, because you put your gun through it.
Yeah, I was like, no, I think I killed myself on purpose.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
I
okay.
saved afterwards because you can manually save, and then just went through, and I was like, oh yeah, there it is.
There was a point in the fucking game where you weren't getting anywhere, where you had to manually save.
I had to
all the
manually
time.
save like every 10, 15 seconds. Like after any encounter that I had, whether it be like 10 seconds or like 5 minutes worth, I had to immediately save afterwards. Because otherwise I would die and be reset back like 45 minutes an hour.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was just punishing to be punishing.
It
wasn't balanced. Because we'll get into it a little bit later, but Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal are very difficult, but not in an unfair way.
No.
It's just challenging.
Fun challenge.
And it's like, you know what you did wrong or what you need to do right
Mm-hmm.
or how you need to improve like your skills as a player to get through an area.
Yeah.
And it may take you several times to do it depending on the difficulty you're playing at.
Yeah.
But once you do, it's satisfying. Doom 3, you will oftentimes just die and not know why.
Yep.
You'll have 100% health and full armor, and suddenly you have nothing, and there's only one guy that you're fighting, and then you're dead. Or you fall through a railing, or you fall through the floor, and it's like, what happens? Like, I was cruising.
There's this one part where you're outside, I think this is on Mars, where you're outside and you suffocate.
Yeah, and it doesn't give you any indication that you are suffocating or could, or that you're not in a suit, even though you're in a suit because you're a space marine.
And you don't have oxygen.
And you don't have oxygen.
But these oxygen pellets are everywhere, and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, and they're very small, so there could just be a tunnel connecting. It's like a gameplay like mechanic that could just be taken out and has no place.
No, not in the slightest.
Because Doom 2016 opens when you're on Mars, and you get your Doom guy Slayer outfit and helmet and stuff, and you can just go out and battle, and then it's arena style and stuff.
Yeah. You're on Mars.
And it's fine. You're not like suffocating. It's not something else hindering you right at the beginning of the game.
No, and it wasn't even the beginning of the game. It was like halfway through the game when you were trying to get across somewhere. And you're like,
it was just very
why
random.
Why did I keep fucking dying?
And I had no idea.
You were suffocating.
Yeah, and it was just, there's just nothing to kind of indicate.
I think by happenstance, when I was still streaming with you, I'm like, what is that? And I pointed at it, and you're like, I don't know.
It's very muted, yeah.
And you grabbed it essentially and was oxygen. You're like, oh, I keep fucking suffocating. I didn't know that it required air.
Yeah, which is, it's just insane. That game is like deeply flawed, very glitchy still.
And the boss battle. Oh, tell about the boss battle.
Yeah, so I pushed because I had made it so far, and there were unfortunately fans of the game who I think were young enough where that was the first Doom game they ever played.
Yeah.
So they really enjoyed it because of nostalgic reasons, which I cannot blame them for because I have a lot of games that I am very nostalgic about that I know aren't great. Mm-hmm. So your love of a nostalgic kind of IP makes sense. And for Doom 3, for some people it is that. Mm-hmm. I think, unfortunately, you're horribly misguided because it's a bad game. Even of the time. And this is coming from somebody who is deeply entrenched in retro gaming and consoles and
considering we have like 12 consoles hooked up and they're all old.
Yeah, and I play, Sega Dreamcast games and NES games and Sega Genesis games. Yeah, and Nintendo 64 regularly alongside Animal Crossing New Horizons and Doom Eternal. But... yeah, so we pushed through. We had kind of had a fanfare for the stream.
I think your boss battle, I'm like, I'm going to take a nap. Peace. I went to sleep. I didn't want to fucking finish the game.
And I got to the final boss battle. I was like, this is going to be hard. The last 2-3 hours of the game were grueling.
Mm-hmm. You were making maybe...
a little bit of ground every hour.
Yeah, like fucking 5 feet of ground. And then you're just constantly barotted. And
I was like, oh man, this is going to be fucking hard. Like once I get... because I had never played it before. So I was like, once I get to the end boss, I was like, it's going to be difficult. So it kind of like wound up and you get to the end boss. That kind of follows similar tropes in video games, especially at that time and earlier. And defeated the boss in about 30 seconds.
Yep.
One of the easiest bosses I've ever
Even
defeated.
Me, and I played freaking Ocarina of Time, and that bit, the water temple. Don't get stuck in that bitch.
Not a challenge at all. I thought it was going to be like, oh, this is like the first form of the boss. Because
there's always levels.
There's always like,
levels
now they're even stronger and even stronger. There's going to be like 3 waves of this. Mm-hmm. No, it's one shot. What you see is what you get, and it takes you about, I think I clocked it in. I think I might have been a little like... hyperbolic right now, but it was like 1 minute and 37 seconds. My moderator of my chat clipped it. Mm-hmm. The entire boss battle. The cutscene to the end cutscene where I defeated him was 1 minute and 37 seconds. Yeah.
I think you died once because you got trapped in a...
I thought it was going to be really difficult. And so I was like...
Amped up yourself.
Yeah, and I kind of psyched myself out and went and did like other stuff, and I like inadvertently died, and then I went back and I was like, okay, well, I don't think I need to do these things that I've had to do with the other monsters or demons
and bosses,
before.
Yeah.
And so I took just a more traditional approach, and yeah, minute 37. You can find that clip on YouTube. But.
Oh, it's so bad. We'll tangentially attach it too. We'll like put
I'll put it in the
notes.
description, but
yeah.
But yeah, super rough game.
Ugh.
So after that kind of like a lull in, forgot I played that one after Doom 2016 was out, but I did dabble in some of the other in between ones like Wolfenstein. I was like, eh. And I just didn't really see if they could bring it back or what life could kind of be there again.
Into it, yeah.
And then we got Doom 2016.
Dude, right? Well, Convincent, like you said, too, you played 2016 before you played Doom 3, thank God, right?
I did, thank God. I just took like a self-imposed hiatus from the franchise and missed out on that one. So I went from like good memory to good memory to good memory to like good experience to good experience to good experience. And then, rather than having Doom 3 in the middle, which would have really broken that up. Where maybe if Doom 2016 was coming out, I was like, that's going to be fucking shit. You know?
Yeah, that's going to be... And then I got you Doom 2016 for Christmas or your birthday?
One or the other. They're very close. My birthday's in November, so...
Regardless, I got you Doom for one of those holidays. And 2016 in that game, this game was badass. Like, it was so fucking cool. The story was great. Trying to stop the apocalypse.
The Martian atmosphere, the voice acting,
Vega.
Like Vega.
Who you essentially sacrificed, but, there's spoilers later about Vega, but, it was sad, heartening. You're like, not Vega.
And it's a robot or an AI.
Yeah, and Vega's like, I'm ready to do this. You can shut me down.
Yeah, and it was like, crazy.
Oh, Vega, no.
You have a really good villain, in my opinion. There's rich history, even. To
way more history bought in the Doomslayer and all that.
Yeah, and the facility that you're on in Mars.
Well, then you do go
the opening scene in Doom 2016,
right?
where you're waking up after
you
being
grab the
summoned.
Monster. Yeah, you grab the demon and snap his head, and you're still not even dressed in your Doomslayer outfit.
Yeah, and you just kind of go to town with your basic pistol and learn about glory kills and stuff, and then you get your Doomslayer outfit where he like steps into it and he grabs his helmet, flips it around, and puts it on. Yeah, very kind of Darth Vader moment.
Yeah, it's legit as fuck, And Doomslayer never talks. The reason that I hated Doom 3, he fucking talked.
He talked incessantly, and it really didn't have
any reason to talk. You're a Doomslayer. You don't talk.
Yeah, it was bizarre because Doom 3 was obviously trying to focus to be more realistic and story or character driven. Doom 2016 is obviously more focused on gameplay and frenetic action.
But still had a great story in it.
Yeah, but Doom 2016 has an amazing story and great characterizations, even with a silent protagonist, and Doom 3 has a horrible story that doesn't make any sense.
Yep.
So it's like, it's kind of funny that it's like one focused on something completely different than the other, and then one biffed them all, and then the other one kind of uplifted all.
Yeah. The tick marks on it.
Because Doom 2016, for even how like amazing the gameplay is on it, it's a seminal shooter now. Has an amazing story. It does a really good job.
I love when you go to hell in Doom 2016. That's like the coolest part.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. Like when you, especially
Did
when
we
you
go
first...
to hell in Doom 3?
Yeah, at the very end, you go to...
It's brief.
Yeah, it's not very long. It's mostly you're just in that like facility.
Doesn't the main robot dude in 2016 throw you back into hell? Because
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he said you've served your purpose and
kind of a thing.
Do your ass into hell. It's like, oh, that's a dick move. Good thing you come back though.
Because there is a little bit of a narrative gap between 2016 and Doom Eternal, but I think it gets fleshed out the more you play Doom Eternal.
When that makes sense too, because obviously
like what happened.
There's
exactly
a time difference, because in the end of 2016, Earth is being attacked, and the cutscene where he screams and stuff, and the demons are coming.
But as far as like how he gets to the Doom Fortress or the Fortress of Doom, and like what is exactly happened is slowly being fleshed out the more I play.
Yeah. Yeah, which is really cool to see in the 2016. And then what's cool is, like, obviously you have it for the PlayStation one, and then I got you the Switch version. And
yeah, so I went through Doom 2016 and got my platinum for it, and even played a little bit of online and stuff, which I know listeners are like, what? Because I never play online games. Except for, like, games as a service or MMOs. And
you kind of dominated, though, too.
I did really well because I grew up with shooters like that. So, like, when you get to, like, Call of Duty and stuff like that, which I don't really play or care
realistic.
for, I'm like, yeah, it's too realistic for me. But arcadey, really, really fast-paced shooters and just fast-paced games in general.
Yep.
Like, and even, I'll take it even a step back. So there's a lot of time I thought I was like, I'm not good at these.
Yeah.
These are too fast, kind of a thing. And then once these more arcadey games started to come out, I was like, oh no, I'm used to it even faster and want to play like that. And my reaction time, even still to this point, is faster than what Call of Duty can allow you to do, or Rainbow Six Siege can allow you to do.
Yeah, because Ghost Recon is parable to it.
Yeah, Ghost Recon and The Division, like how I snipe and do some of the sharpshooting mechanics. It's
but in the
like
same
a
breath,
pinprick ridiculously far away with a weapon that shouldn't be able to do it, and I can do a headshot and stuff.
Yeah,
and
but in the same
take
breath,
stuff off bars.
when you're getting overwhelmed, it's not like the arcadey Doom though. So
if you get overwhelmed, you're kind of toast in those games because it is more tactical in that way. But yeah, Doom 2016, incredibly frenetic and fast paced, and it was like, oh, okay, I just need the more kind of silly arcadey.
Ooh, I wonder if you
games.
played Doom 2016 though, because you have the Switch version with your controller. Because you never did that because you played it with the Switch controller and it was a pain in the butt. I didn't even think about that.
I know, which I'm super excited for because I want to go back and finish that one on the Switch finally.
Yeah, because you just played through it. It's not essentially getting trophies. Yeah. But you have your controller now. You're not playing with the Joy-Cons, which I like to play. Only reason I like the Joy-Cons is I play handheld mode. It makes sense for handheld mode.
But yeah, it was super cool. So I got to platinum it on the PS4.
I like how you glitched the very last one, though.
The last trophy? Yeah.
It's the only time you've ever done that. Because it was like, you die.
Yeah, it's like a one-shot death, and you just have to make it through the first level. And I was like, I cannot do this. Like, this is crazy hard. Like, and I usually play games on the hardest difficulty. But those, even like Wolfenstein... Those two franchises in the hardest difficulty are insane. I've seen a few people do it, but very few people can.
Exactly. So you like found a glitch.
I went through Wolfenstein
fly across the map
2 about halfway through.
Yep.
And then I died. And I was like, fuck that. Because once you're dead, you start over.
Yep.
So I was like, that's cool. Like, and I was like 6 hours in.
Like, oh, wah, wah, wah.
But yeah, it's fun to play Doom 2016 on the Switch, and you can do online as well.
Yeah. And
really
when
cool.
like we've talked about before with the Switch, you just kind of play to play. You're not playing to
I
get
already got my
trophies.
platinum. My Doom PlayStation copy, which I bought for myself. I gave to an old work friend.
Yep.
Because I was like, I'm done with it. And then you had already gifted me the Switch one. I'd rather now play it on the Switch.
Yeah.
So obviously that one not going anywhere. That copy.
Yeah.
It was like fine with the regular standard edition of the PS4 one. I was like, you can have it.
Yep.
I already platinumed it. I already played through it. I did everything I could on it, and now I'm just having fun with the same
Switch,
game on the Switch. So
Exactly, which is cool.
Which is crazy that they can even bring over those kind of games to the Switch.
I know.
I know some people have had complaints about the Switch ports of like Doom and like Wolfenstein and stuff. I'm just impressed that they can do it.
Yeah, take it for what it is, folks.
And yeah, and I have fun just playing it. And if you don't want to play it that way, don't play it that way. Get it on, the Xbox or the PlayStation.
It's not meant for you to always play it on every goddamn thing. If you want it on this specific console, play it on that specific console. And fuck off with bitching about it being somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it just opens it up for more people to play and more sales and more dollars. I mean,
and more people who
future installments or DLC or expansions.
Exactly.
Yeah, helps the studio and the publisher out. So
yeah, shut up. Quit your bitching.
More of what you love.
Quit your bitching. All right, now are we gonna dive in?
Yeah,
we diving in.
We're gonna hit the Doom Eternal.
Dun, 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 doom. All right, in all this case,
Doom.
It's too sweet when he says it. It's like a little angel saying doom, and it's just like, oh, and it's really funny when he asks da doom, da doom.
Yeah, he wants me to play Doom, which is crazy.
Oh no, what type of parents are we? Anyways, so Doom Eternal, Cancer.
Doom Eternal is fucking amazing. I was not necessarily skeptical. I figured it was gonna be as good as 2016. But I wasn't sure if it was just going to stand, like, shoulder to shoulder to it, or if it was going to be able to, like, propel it forward.
Further, yeah.
You know, from 2016 to 2020. Like, what's 4 years worth of gameplay, like, enhancements or thoughts or production can you add to Doom 2016 to make it better? They fucking did.
I know.
Like, it's insane. Like, the customization and the leveling system and all the little things that you can tweak to flesh out your version of Doomslayer mixed with not only like glory kills and some of the other mechanics that were in 2016, it's like you can light enemies on fire with a flamethrower so you can get armor. You can then tear them in half, for the glory kill to get health.
They flesh that out more, so like
your
depending on what you do,
chainsaw is a little easier to use, and so you just have it like right out the gate, and so you can get ammo, by using the chainsaw kills. And
they've separated, which is kind of cool to see, because in Doom 2016 it was just kind of look at the draw what you got, but in 2020 they separated how your glory kill is done and what you get.
Yeah, it was you got health for doing glory kills in 2016 as well, but it was kind of the only like spot.
Yeah,
you can. There wasn't an avenue
if you're
to get
out of
armor
ammo,
or
no. Sometimes
chainsaw you got ammo from that too, but it wasn't as readily available.
Yeah, but
you got it a little bit later in the game, and then you had to kind of like. It wasn't as like streamlined, I guess is what I'm trying to say, as it is in Doom Eternal.
And that's what I'm trying to say. It's more streamlined in 2020 than it was in 2016. But which is still was cool to see in 2016 that they even had something like that.
Yeah, the chainsaw was kind of a staple in the original
and the BFG
Doom,
too.
So, and the BFG. Yeah, it's another kind of staple that everybody knows. But yeah, they mix in a ton of stuff. So you still have like the Praetor suit, which is like your armor to upgrade. You get these crystals that'll upgrade like your skills, and they're kind of paired off. So if you get a certain
Doom freaking scales up walls in 2020, dude. Doom Eternal.
Yeah, there's like a lot of platforming elements, which I know some people don't like and some people really like.
What is Doom though?
I like it. I think it's cool because
scaling up a fucking wall like a spider monkey.
Yeah, and I've heard some people like, well, the animation's kind of weird and stuff. For me, it just adds to like the visceral carnage, like gore fest that Doom guy is.
Yeah.
That he just uses his fingers and plows into a fucking wall and then scales it. He doesn't have a device that helps him like scale a wall or
no, he's just fucking digging his fingers
digging
into
dirt or something.
No, he's digging his finger into metal and climbing it.
And just because he's pissed. Like, that's what it looks like. Yeah. And even Ollie mimics that. He likes that animation. It stands out to him. The platforming elements, I was in the first like couple levels, I was like, oh god, I don't know about this. Like, I was having difficulties. Once you get the double dash though, and you kind of get used to it, you've done a few of them, it's actually pretty intuitive. It's like, okay, I know where to go. I know how to get there. I know I have to double jump or dash here, or not dash here.
Like with Doom and like upgrading systems, you have to upgrade to get them, and that makes sense though.
Yeah, so I actually enjoy the platforming. I think it divides up the quick-paced gameplay nicely.
Yeah.
And they're never too long. It's not like I'm spending 2 hours just platforming and then I get 30 minutes of combat and then another 45 minutes of platforming or something.
It's like 5...
It's really like 10 minutes or 5 minutes of platforming and then the next
20 minutes
is
just
awesome combat.
Yeah.
Where
Kill
you're just
them
going
zombies, snap their neck, paying that rent.
Yeah, exactly.
Not catching bugs, man. There, you snapping necks.
I'm snapping necks and Doom, and they came out the same day, so same kind of.
We were playing it at the same time.
Exactly.
It is legit.
And then also the story of Doom Eternal is awesome.
It's fucking legit.
Like it's
Vega
probably
came
just
back.
even better than the first one.
You were on Vega, a ship.
Yeah, so instead of like Superman's Fortress of Solitude, where you're in this crystal palace in Antarctica or the Arctic or wherever, I think it's the Arctic. You're in the Fortress of Doom, which is like this crazy space station that's orbiting Earth. And
you're traveling it everywhere. Vega sends you in Doom portals to get to the places.
Yeah, exactly. And there's like, you can get these battery cells to unlock more capabilities of the base, because it sounds like it wasn't years before that you took it at some point in between.
And the typical Doomslayer.
Doom 2016 and this one. And so you're locked out of certain services, and you get these, while you do the levels, you get these Sentinel battery packs. You use them to power up. There's like training rooms, there's collectibles, there's costumes.
Oh, I like the collectibles too, speaking of the little plushies that you get. They're not just like the Doom figurines.
Oh, before they were different colored Doom guys, but now you get
plushies.
vinyl, you get floppy discs, you get plushies like, of the creatures. Pinky, yeah. Which is really cool.
Yeah,
and he pulls out the vinyl sleeve.
And looks at it, and they put it back in, it's collected.
Doom guy also has an area on the Fortress of Doom that's obviously like his room or his study, and he's a nerd. He's got all his collectibles up and stuff, and he's got vinyl, and he's got his little plushie dude. So you know,
He's human.
they're fleshing out. I think he's a
Doom.
sentinel. I'm not quite sure if he's even human or he's just a specific like type of human, I guess, or race of humans. But I'm getting the feeling that they might be different people.
He's a god or a sentinel or from a different planet.
Yeah, and they kind of touch base on. I need to read more of the codexes because you go to the sentinel like either area or homeworld. I think it's on Earth, but
it's really cool. No, I just think that it's interesting to that it's starting to flesh out more of Doom himself.
Oh yeah, there's definitely like obviously lore there that they're starting to dive into. I haven't yet finished the game, so I'm sure there'll be a lot more information, and then I'll be able to dive into.
We'll call this a partial spoiler.
Yeah, some of the codexes and stuff as well. But I find it super interesting because whatever his race of people are, whether they're humans or something else. They're known for like perfecting like brutality and like murder and war and things like that, and so it kind of adds like almost a realistic element to like why he is the way he is, like, and why he can do the things that he does because he's like the best of them, of a group that already specializes in doing crazy ass fucking shit. Yeah, killing, murdering demons.
Yeah, murdering, smurder.
Which is really cool because it's fleshing out the world. It's fleshing out like Earth's place in it or Mars's place in it. Doom Guy's role, his people, other people in factions, the demons even.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. The story's great, which I don't think a lot of people expect a Doom story to be great.
No.
But Doom 2016 story was awesome, and this one's shaping up to be even better somehow.
Yeah. And it's exciting to see. It's just like, insane to see the development from, horrible Doom 3 to 2016 to then to Doom Eternal,
Oh, yeah. I think it's awesome that we've had these wonderful studios kind of retake up the mantle and breathe new life into it. Pay homage to the originals while simultaneously modernizing them and creating these really interesting hybrid products that are now that we're long enough into the video game industry are bringing back the progenitors to like first-person shooters. Yeah, I mean, you get machine gun games doing Wolfenstein. And now you have, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank at the studio that does Doom, but you're having a very specific studio work on Doom and bringing it back and making it relevant in the modern era of gaming, which is really cool.
It's just insane to see those kind of originals being brought back, essentially, like you said, modernized.
And I guess id Software.
Okay.
It did Doom, so.
Okay.
Which is awesome.
Legit.
Which they already did a lot of work on Wolfenstein, Doom, and Quake. So.
Yeah, so they're used to doing these types of games. So
yeah, it's let's see. Wolfenstein 3D is often considered to be the first true FPS. Doom is a game that popularized the genre and PC gaming in general, and Quake was id's first true 3D FPS. And now they're redoing Doom in a spectacular way.
Oh god, they're just it's so awesome. Like, and what's cool is I think my favorite part of Doom I've seen so far is the possession part. Like, that is cool when he gets his shotgun, his double barrel.
Oh, yeah. So there is a mission early on where you get, like, the original OG super shotgun, which Doom Slayer always has. And yeah, you're going through and it's like just out of grasp. Like you can't quite get to it, even with the platforming mechanics. And the level's just designed this way.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get to a certain point where you're using like this demon like technology and to possess a revenant.
Yep.
Which for those of you who don't know, those are the demons that like could fly around with like a little jetpack and they have two twin rockets on their back.
Yeah.
They're a staple
annoying.
of the franchise. And you possess him and use his abilities to kill other demons and then get the super shotgun to bring back to Doomslayer. And then he kind of kneels before you and gives it to you. And it switches back to you. And you can leave him or you can kill him. And I killed him because he was a demon. But
Yeah. So
that was really interesting. That was a cool kind of I got a word.
Perspective?
Not perspective would work. I was thinking like cinematography or like
I know you're trying to
cinematic.
You're trying to think of the $15 word.
No,
just deal with my $5 word.
I was just trying to think of cinematic, cinematic kind of sequence. Yeah, that's all I could think of was like the whole word, not the proper conjugation. So, but
more $15 words. Well, yeah, no, it's cool to see that where it's like split between, you know, Doomslayer finally grabs these fucking like giant thingies, magnetize his hands to it, and
so he can possess the other Revenant.
And then when he's possessing the Revenant, it changes perspective where it's the Revenant's view, and then you see the Doomslayer, and then the device turned around, and you're playing as the Revenant,
which is cool.
And then you drop back down, and you're handing him, and you see him unclick his hands and grabs the gun, and then it switches perspective again, and then you kill the dude, or your choice, you killed him, but
yeah,
you know,
it was really interesting. It was definitely a little bit of like pizzazz or flavor like sprinkled in there, where it was like
you want to talk about pizzazz or sprinkled flavor. Talk about the Doomicorn.
The Doomicorn, yeah, so we primarily stream on Twitch. We do a little bit of YouTube Live. Nothing on Mixer, at least not yet. And anyways, if you're a Twitch Prime member, which we are, you could get free like add-ons for Doom Eternal.
Yeah.
And one of them was the Doomicorn Slayer
it's
outfit.
As great as it sounds, folks.
And yeah, and so I streamed it one day on Twitch last week. We were kind of like working out schedule issues and stuff, just because of everything going on. But so I came back one morning and I streamed early in the morning and I played some Doom Eternal for I think it was like 2 or 3 hours, and I was like, might as well. I'm on Twitch, so I used the Doomicorn and started a new game.
A different save, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just playing through on normal for viewers and then going.
Yeah, because if you're anyone like me and who does have motion sickness but likes to watch somebody play, you playing on hard mode gives me.
Oh my god, hard mode is insane. I don't really get terribly frustrated though, because there's some arena or not boss battles, but battles that you do, and I'll be stuck on them for a good while. I'm doing 6, 7, 8 times.
Yeah, that's true.
Once you finally do it, I'm like, okay, I got it. Like, I know how to play better now.
It's not like Doom 3's frustration where it's just hard to be hard. You're taking 5 steps in and you die immediately.
Yeah, it doesn't do that. It's very much like, it's definitely challenging on harder difficulties.
I don't think you were even playing a hard mode on Doom 3.
I did.
Oh, okay,
yeah. It's just very much like you have to chain all of your abilities together and find a really good rhythm or like kind of dance to it. And once you...
It's not a 2-step, it's a square dance.
And more than that even. It's like...
It's a hokey pokey? Get yourself about?
No.
Oh.
No.
Is it too punny for you?
Not at all. If we did a dad joke video, like...
You'd win.
Yeah, because I wouldn't laugh. just to be spiteful. You'd have something really good and be like, yeah, whatever. And then
afterwards you'd be laughing your ass off.
Yeah, that was really funny. And you'd be like, I fucking hate you.
I could beat you.
0 to 12.
I'll show you 0 to 12.
So unnecessary.
Most days.
But yeah, so I got to play as the Doomicorn, and it was fucking hilarious because you're in like a white unicorn costume with like pink wings and a pink horn, and then you have like glitter where your like frag launcher is and stuff that's coming out of your frag launcher. And it was just so over the top and like tongue in cheek and funny.
Yeah.
So I played a little bit of that streaming wise.
And I like because they keep it to what Doom is, the silent protagonist. And there's this one part where we're talking to 2 priests, and they're trying to like say something, and all you do is your shotgun, and they scattered.
Yeah, they leave, so they're like almost like projecting themselves in to talk to you. So they're like, there's like these 3 hell priests, and your goal right now, at least for me in the beginning of the game, is to defeat all 3 of them. So the intro mission, you defeat one pretty readily. You don't even really fight him. It's in a cutscene. Yeah. It's just kind of showing you how to play. And you decapitate him, and then you have to go to the next like area
where the other 2 are.
Yeah, and there's like the main like villain, at least seemingly so right now, and you throw the decapitated head of the other hell priest. And there's 3 of them. The other 2 are there, kind of projecting in and talking to you, and they're kind of berating you, like,
making fun.
You're gonna fail. Like, there's no way you can do this. Like, you're just one man. Like, the maker is God essentially, and They're like chattering on, and so yeah, that's what you do. You fucking cock your shotgun and they like freak out and disappear. Their projections go away, and you just turn your back and keep walking.
Yep.
You don't give a fuck. Portal opens up, you walk through it, and you're back in the Fortress of Doom. You're like, fuck you.
Right. It's like fucking fantastic. And like the funny part, which they bring in from 2016, is the holograms. Where the hologram lady is saying, please calm down and let our Doom friends
And you're in like a subway station that is like
decimated,
demolished, and there's gore nests and demons all over the place, and everything's on fire, and all the humans are dead. And then, there's like this little projection of a gal that's like, things will resume normal accordingly, like in just a short period of time. These changes were necessary.
Yeah.
It's like,
you're like,
I don't think so.
Please don't freak out. Make your demons feel welcomed. And then just after she disappears, it's like, oh, that's not good.
They're not good at all. One of the other things that Doom Eternal introduces as far as like a gameplay mechanic is that a lot of the kind of like mainstay like demons that have been in most of the games.
Oh, the fucking worm dudes?
The worm dudes are freaky, yeah.
Or snake people. They're kind of like Medusas.
Like sirens or Medusa. Yeah, Medusa. They do remind me of the Medusas from God of War.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. They're the Medusa mechanic.
Where they kind of slither around and stuff and come at you.
They're fucking fast and annoying as shit.
They're really fast. Yeah, they're not terribly strong. I mean, if they get a hit off on you, it does a lot of damage. Yeah. But you can pretty readily avoid. But they're quick, for sure. But they're not too hard to take down.
No, they're annoying.
Some of the other like enemy types though have like weak points on them, which they didn't have before, which is really cool. So like the revenants with like the twin cannons, you can use like a sticky bomb from your shotgun, or you can use like the long shot with your heavy cannon.
Sniper.
You pretty much, yeah, and you can, and it makes a really cool sound effect. But you can like blow the cannons off their back. Or there's the Mancubuses who have like cannons for arms, pretty much, and they're pretty like long range for them. And you can blow those off, too, so then they just have close-up attacks to make them... And it does help, definitely, to take them out by, like...
The weak points.
Using their weaknesses, along with, like, the flamethrower that you have, and the chainsaw, and all the other weapons, and the glory kills, of course. Like, intermixing all those together in a very kind of fluid, like, quick way makes for super interesting combat that's incredibly fast-paced, especially when you find that rhythm. Like, if you're doing a map... like a few times and you're dying. It's so satisfying when you find that rhythm in that particular map that you've struggled with, and you're like, I got it.
Yep.
And you're just flying around, like shredding the smaller enemies, going to the quick scope to blow off, a couple cannons, and then chainsaw another guy. There's like 4 guys behind you, so you do like the blood rush melee move.
Yep.
Shred through like 8 guys, and then you double dash away.
Yep.
And are gone. Like... It's really interesting the way they do it. But the weak point thing is a really cool addition. And then...
The God armor is cool.
Yeah, the Blood Rush melee move is really cool. Yeah. And then I did get the Sentinel armor.
Sentinel armor. God armor. Same difference.
Where that takes like it's like less damage from like at a distance, like with like rockets.
Well, that's what you did with this last.
I had to, yeah.
Yeah, the last dude was because he had the boss battle. Who I was making fun of literally the dude on the tank. The dude on the tank.
I don't recall his name, but he
was the extinct Doom Slayer hunter.
Yeah, and he was melded in with like demon technology and stuff, and. Yeah, this is very kind of traditional boss battle because he has like one form, and then you have to beat him a second form, and then I didn't know this, which is I'm very happy that I switched to the Sentinel armor.
Yeah.
Because right after that you go to another area and to fight 2 of them at the same time, along with a whole bunch of other guys.
Yeah, they're not as many lives because the main boss battle he had 3 lives. Those ones only have 2. So it sounds like. It's a defective, quote unquote defectiveness in.
They're like weaker ones, and I have a feeling they'll probably show up as like regular enemies.
Yeah, where you do that,
but
where
they're not
like
too bad.
The boss guys turn into just everyday enemies.
Yeah,
but they're weaker, and like I was saying, it's probably a defectiveness. Quote unquote, how they make it in the story. It's effective.
Yeah, they're not as good as.
They're
like
wanting
the
to
other ones.
meld with the demon technology or whatever the situation is. So that's kind of a loophole for them to say why they're weaker.
Yeah, exactly, and a lot of games do that. I actually like it when they do that. When you
make
have a boss that becomes
an everyday enemy.
Yeah,
kind of like those big horn guys.
Yeah, exactly. And they even have like upgraded versions of some of the demons. So, he's a staple too. I can't remember what he's called, but they like jump around. They're like kind of hulking beasts, like behemoths, and they They might be called Behemoths, actually. They like run at you and stuff, and they jump up and like slam down. They have upgraded versions of them where they have like blades for arms and stuff and come at you, but they move kind of the same way. They're just a little bit stronger.
No, it's very cool, and I'm very intrigued to see how that's fleshed out the history of Doomslayer and how this game is going to play and end. And it's like, comparatively, like we talked about in our 64, the sister podcast, where Animal Crossing essentially will never end. Well, Doom eternally will end. It has an ending.
Yeah, exactly. It's a definitely very, like, you know, point A to point B to point C. And
maybe a Z in there somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, it'll probably follow like a 3-act structure, and then you can, you know, go back and get all the collectibles or
trophy hunt
upgrade everything, which is what I will do. And then there's online trophies in this one, which normally would put me off, but I'm actually kind of excited to...
2016 played for you.
Yeah. And a different studio did the online multiplayer component for 2016, and Doom Eternal, it did the campaign as well as the online.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how that changed, if it's more fluid or more like cohesive with the campaign at least. And I'll definitely be trying that out and trying to grind out those trophies.
This would be cool.
So it'll definitely have longer legs than most first-person shooters.
Yeah, well.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. It definitely isn't Animal Crossing, or a simulation game where it's perpetually
but at the
playable.
same time, you're catching bugs, paying rent, not snapping bugs and paying, snapping necks and paying rent.
And I have a feeling it'll be the same kind of thing for me, where this time around I'll keep like both editions, but I will most likely platinum Doom Eternal and then go back to it if there is a Switch release, which I think they have kind of announced. I can't remember for sure.
Yeah, I don't remember. I know they're porting over a bunch of shit to the Switch, like BioShock, and which is cool to see, and other stuff like that. But
yeah, and I'll definitely be scooping up at some point like the Wolfenstein games that are on the Switch and playing through those again. I don't think I'll ever get the platinum trophy of Wolfenstein 2.
No,
but...
so at that point, it's just kind of fun to switch to the Switch, and hence the name, and play it.
Yeah,
just enjoy it, enjoy the story and the gameplay.
And if Doom Eternal does release for the Switch, I'll do the same thing. And that's a franchise or a game where I wouldn't mind having 2 copies and, playing
through a different, in
a different way and just having fun with it and just kind of fucking around.
Exactly.
So, yeah, that'll be cool.
It'll be awesome. Well, kind sir, I think that's coming to a wrap of our Rage Quit.
Rage Quit. Yeah, I just want to kind of provide some final thoughts on.
Yes, what are your final thoughts?
Doom Eternal or Doom as a franchise, really. Honestly, I think Doom as a franchise is just a seminal classic piece of work. And like we talked about earlier, I urge anyone to at least go try out one of the older ones if you haven't.
Because it's on the newer consoles, so it's not like you're having to get a PC to play it.
Yeah, I mean, you're not looking for a shareware floppy disk to play the original Doom, which is what I had.
You're just paying $5 to get it, and like I said, you don't have to deep dive into it.
And if you pre-order Doom Eternal, you have a copy of Doom 64 to play.
Yeah, play it. Seriously.
Just try it out. I'm not saying,
I think
put off Doom Eternal.
No, I think 64 came out before Doom Eternal. That's the whole point of pre-ordering is what you got before Doom Eternal release. So
yeah, it was a few days beforehand, I guess.
Yeah, so honestly, just play through it. It's fun.
Yeah, and I'll definitely, after I'm done with Doom Eternal and stuff, be diving back into the older ones just to play through.
Not Doom 3.
1, 2, and 64.
Doom 3 sucks.
To eventually just go through. Yeah, Doom 3 is really bad.
Don't play Doom 3. Just skip it. Don't.
Yeah, if you're interested in the franchise and haven't really played it, or you want to
Doom 3. No.
Go back to the older ones, don't do 3.
Don't do 3. It's just right now.
Doom Eternal, though, as its own title, I think is going to stand the test of time. I think it's going to be hard-pressed for a first-person shooter in the next 2 or 3 years to outdo it.
I think so, too. I agree.
I think just from a gameplay, from an upgrade standpoint, from aesthetics, from story, I think
it might be Game of the Year, honestly.
I think it could be, too.
Well, I know I had Borderlands for mine as well.
Borderlands 3 from last year, yeah.
Yeah, it was that one, not Doom Eternal. This is 2020 now. Braden's thinking dates.
Yeah, I mean, I think there'll be some really good, better than last year's, I think, list for Game of the Year. But I think Doom Eternal will definitely make that cut.
Yep.
At least be in the running.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we're going to have things, obviously, like The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah, there's are those.
Final Fantasy 7 Remake,
those horses,
and Ghost of Tsushima, and, Doom Eternal.
And
we'll see what comes out at the end of the year. We really
It'll be mentioned more comparatively to, the disheartening of Days Gone not being mentioned comparatively,
Yeah, if it wasn't mentioned, I'd be surprised.
I know, right?
I mean, I could picture it being maybe a little bit niche for some people, but otherwise, yeah, it should be up there, for sure.
Exactly.
Along with Animal Crossing. like really vastly different games, but rated both incredibly well, selling really well.
Exactly.
Both storied franchises, and yeah, it's worth checking out. So we'll definitely be doing some more Doom coverage too. Safer in reference during a podcast. I for sure will be doing Doom Eternal streams. And playing through it the entirety. So I started it over on a different save slot when I first started streaming last week. I'm going to keep with Doomicorn, and we're going to play through, start to finish.
Yeah. Exactly.
Just on normal. So.
Yeah, you played hard mode on your own.
Yeah, exactly. That's just for me. So I don't want to be frustrated. Which I don't really get terribly frustrated, but I think it would make for a boring stream to be redoing the same part over and over and over again.
Like Doom 3.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
All right, kind sir. Now I think that's a good wrap. Any housekeeping?
We've mentioned this in 64 Bits of Rage, as well as the last couple Rage Quit podcasts. But we are delaying the launch of our merchandise that we were planning on rolling out this coming month.
Not to,
April.
Be reasonable, but within reason of what's going on.
Yeah, it's just we don't want to ask for dollar amounts from anybody, because whether you're struggling or not, you may be financially helping out, families or friends or coworkers, and so we just think it's in poor taste to ask, for a few dollars right now for a Patreon or for, a $20, $25 T-shirt.
Yeah.
So we are not going to be doing that. We will keep you guys abreast, though. Obviously, nobody knows how long this is going to last.
Or the changes that are coming,
Yeah, and so, we'll make sure and keep you abreast of, details and stuff for ASInquisitor if you are looking forward to, podcast T-shirts and a Patreon and exclusive content and all that good stuff. It's still going to happen. It's just the timetable has been shifted, yeah, so... We don't know when we're going to be doing it, but we should have all the kind of grunt backdoor work done and then just be able to hard launch it at a more reasonable time.
Exactly. So it's just push off for now for the importance of things.
Exactly. The only other thing I have to mention is ASInquisitor was able to conduct our first review.
Copy.
Of a video game. Yeah, we received an advanced copy of said game, Twin Breakers, a Sacred Symbol Adventure.
Yeah.
It's an old school brick breaker. There is a written review. That's up on Metacritic now as well, under the ASInquisitor moniker. It's also on our website, asinquisitor.wordpress.com. You can watch, I did an hour live stream of it, which is on Twitch. So you can go watch that VOD if you want. It's in the retro collection. Or you can go to the ASInquisitor YouTube channel, and there is a more refined, edited with the intro, outro, audio's a little bit better.
Yeah.
All that good jazz of all the different features that Twin Breaker has. And some of my loose kind of analysis.
And our first Bear Paws rating.
Yeah, and then, to note, we did a special Rage Quit podcast, so if you missed out on that, that's episode 24 and a half. And yeah, we gave it our first Polar Bear Paw rating, and Ariel and I did a review of it as well there. So if you just want to consume that content by listening to it, there's a podcast. So you can read it, you can listen to it, or you can watch it. Yeah, a little something for everybody. But yeah, check that out. Look up Twin Breakers, a Sacred Symbols Adventure. We're really excited to do it, and hopefully we'll be doing these more
often.
Yeah, and do the little half-step podcast episodes that'll be extra.
Yeah, it would be cool.
Reviewing games. So.
All right, folks. I think that's everything.
Yep.
As always, follow the bear.
My name's Anthony Schultz.
Oh yeah, my name's Ariel Schultz.
Always remember.
Follow the bear.
Peace.
Bye.
Hey there, guys. This is Anthony Schultz, one half of the duo for Rage Quit. I just wanted to spend a minute or two, at most, talking about Ariel and I's other endeavors, or where you can follow her and I if you're a fan of this podcast. So, I'm most prolific on Twitter as far as social media is concerned. I share more kind of gut reaction or private experiences and opinions there. I'm at Anthony R. Schultz. Pretty easy to remember, just my name. And if you'd be so inclined, you can give me a follow, and I also drop Rage Quit links there every week, and other things that Ariel and I are both working on. ASInquisitor also streams, which is the production company that produces Rage Quit, essentially myself at the moment. And I stream 5 days a week. I'm a variety streamer, so I do a little bit of everything. Hopefully, there's something there that you would really enjoy, even if it's just 1 day a week. I take every Thursday and Friday off, and you can follow and or subscribe at twitch.tv/ASInquisitor. All these links that I'm mentioning will be in the description box below, and I will reiterate. Also, ASInquisitor has a YouTube channel. So if you're not listening to this podcast via YouTube, if you're using your preferred podcast provider, this podcast does make its way to YouTube. We will eventually be recording not only our voices, but also ourselves when we do the podcast. We're just working on some equipment issues right now. But we also have past streams that I've done for ASInquisitor that have a little bit more kind of polish or pizzazz to them. They're divided up into like better bite-sized chunks for complete game playthroughs or Let's Plays. There's also a lot of unique content there. I record things throughout the week as I play games, just kind of funny moments or maybe even like personal achievements, things of that nature. And so you can search for ASInquisitor on YouTube. And again, the link will be in the description below. But those are my 3 kind of primary platforms that you can find me on. So that's Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. Ariel actually has her own YouTube channel called Painting with LM Schultz. She's a very talented painter. She has her fine arts degree and enjoys painting for cathartic reasons, as well as to improve on her like technical prowess. So she started her own YouTube channel to improve on her techniques, as well as show people kind of some basics or things that you can do painting wise. There's also some other kind of crafty do-it-yourself kind of ideas and videos on there as well that pertain a little bit more personally to her and I, because they usually involve our family. You know, it's a family project that she's working on. For example, she did our son's Halloween costume, and so she walked through how she constructed and created, the costume and how you could do something similar for your kiddos at home. And then finally, you can follow Ariel on Twitter as well. She is primarily on Twitter, just like myself. We don't really indulge in too many other social media platforms, save for maybe Instagram. I don't think we're as active on there. Ariel might be, more so than myself. But you can follow her at Merhobbit and give her a follow as well. That's my lovely co-host and beautiful wife, Ariel. But anyways, I just wanted to stop in and kind of throw some links your way. And if you were curious about what ASInquisitor was doing and how Rage Quit kind of fit into that ecosystem, there it is. Yeah, got all the links for you. If you're interested in any one of those, all of those links are going to be in the description box below, and they're going to be in every podcast episode now. So I'm not sure if they're entirely there right now, but I'm going to be doing a fresh write-up and make sure and have all of those included for you. So just click a link or copy and paste and head on over if any of those strike your fancy. But anyways, thanks for enjoying the show. Really appreciate it. We'll be back next week for more rage quittiness. And as always, follow the bear. And have a good evening, guys.